There goes a dump truck. Boy, oh boy, that was a kid favorite back in the day. Well, who could not love a booth that has a giant dump truck? And we're here with Alan of Caterpillar, and you guys are showing some really neat things in terms of a way to get from driving trucks to maybe someday having trucks and other things drive themselves. So why don't we talk about what you're showing here at the Caterpillar booth at CES 2023.
Welcome, and I'm glad to have you here at our booth, at our Caterpillar booth. And today, what I'm going to do is talk about our Cat Command products. Our Cat Command products encompass our remote control, semi-autonomous, and autonomous solutions. And what we're going to see is a couple of them today, and have an opportunity for you to actually experience them.
Well, that is going to be fun. You know, we can try this and just walk around and see what you've got going here. So,
all right, so what we're going to do is first start off at our remote control products. We have multiple remote control products. The first one is our line of sight. So we have an over-the-shoulder console that can remotely operate our equipment. From construction size equipment all the way through mining. What you're seeing here and what we're doing live on the show is letting folks operate a 320 excavator in Peoria, Illinois, 1,600 miles away from the show floor.
wow.
So it's live operation.
Yeah.
Right, and it's non-line of sight. So we bring in the camera feed, high definition cameras, back to the operator. We give him a nice seated, comfortable position and allow him to have all the controls you'd have inside the machine.
Without all the grime of dirt flying in your face. Of course, your caps probably are sealed, so that wouldn't happen, but yeah.
Correct. You know, and as you'll notice, there are no restrictions. So from a climbing perspective, right, from injury, right? So you think about the access, the additional access to operators that might have those type of restrictions that couldn't operate now. You've made them.
Virtually anyone with any ability, whether they can walk, whatever, they now can operate one of these big machines.
Correct. And I can and we can put experts to transfer that knowledge directly to them in the station, right? So that knowledge transfer happens more efficiently, more quickly, and again allows them to operate safely in that office environment.
Well, and you're in this office environment, and here we're 1,500 miles away or whatever it is. How in the heck do you get that bandwidth here? What sort of bandwidth are we talking about needing to, you know, supply these multiple camera feeds?
So we've worked very, very hard at Caterpillar through a decade of experience, really coming from our mining industry on optimizing that bandwidth. So, you know, from that standpoint, we're able to do that because obviously, most sites, not all sites, have more than one machine working. And so it's really important to optimize that bandwidth. And so from here, we're connected to the Caterpillar network where we access these machines in different locations at our demonstration facility.
Now, is this, obviously this is live, but I mean, is this in production right now?
It is. So, you know, our mining products, we've been selling these technologies for almost 10 years now. What's new and what we're showing here is our continued expansion into construction-sized products. So what you're seeing here is our 320 excavators. We go all the way up to our 395. So this is a 20-ton excavator, weight size. We go all the way up to our 95-ton excavator, right? So it's a very large breadth of products just in the excavator family that we can run with this. We can also, with the same station, it has universal controls. So what does that mean? That means I can switch control to a different machine type. I can switch control to a wheel loader in a different location and do work with the same station. I can switch over to a skid steer. I can switch controls over to a dozer and do the work.
Because it's all screen and just joystick, it looks like.
That's correct, with the push of a button. 22-inch touchscreen. You have a work group, and that work group has you'd have multiple machines there, and you could switch between the machines.
So do you see the possibility of having one operator with multiple machines?
Absolutely. So what we've done is increase the operator's utilization, right? With the labor shortage that many have experienced lately, this is just another solution to help solve that customer's challenge.
And I would imagine also from a workforce perspective, you're still going to need some folks out there in the site, but the ones that don't have to go there, much better quality of experience, because these sites probably are pretty remote and oftentimes, right?
Correct. Yeah, just because we have remote control doesn't change the maintenance, the fueling needs of the machine, but I can shift responsibilities again to others, change the way I work, and allow these operators to be in a comfortable seated position, and in a lot of cases, operate multiple machines from different work locations.
Would it allow the extension of the day as well, potentially?
Oh, absolutely. We have customers today that are doing that. Changing operators is a matter of a person getting up and a new one sitting down. Hot swapping, right? That means I can run my machine longer. I can run the machine over breaks. The machine's running, it's making our customers money. So that's important. And we realize that, and you can do that with this type of station.
Now, from a connectivity standpoint, going back to that, a lot of these places are pretty darn rural. How in the heck do you get the video back and the other telemetry?
Our customers are utilizing all types of solutions that are out in the marketplace. Point-to-point radios, right? Microwave solutions to bring them connected from the job site back to essentially a wired connection back into their own infrastructure. So basically, that backhaul is so flexible with today's ever-changing Internet of Things, solutions from folks here at CES, right? They're coming up with all these really groundbreaking technologies. It just helps us provide additional solutions to products like these.
If you have multiple machines out in a particular job site, it could add up to hundreds of megabits or something.
From the standpoint of the machine running on the site, that coverage, what we found most efficiently, is still running traditional Wi-Fi. The backhaul.
Yeah, because and then you're aggregating multiple of those. Yeah.
Exactly. Bringing that back to wherever your operator or your station is, that is so flexible. So we have tremendous amount of experience. We work closely with the CAT dealer network, the world-class dealer network, to make sure that our customers are supported in implementing this.
Now you see this as a multi-phase world. So that was phase one, right?
We talked about the line of sight remote where I'm running it, and I'm, people think of, remote control toy cars, right? You're running it using your eyes. That's why I say line of sight. We talked about this. Let's talk about the next level. So we talked, how this technology came from mining. Over here, you're going to see a D10 running at in Arizona, so about 450 miles away. You're probably thinking, Alan, that's the station, what's the difference? You said it's mining. Well, if you look at the controls, let's go look at the controls of this.
We'll weave our way through the crowd here.
What you notice on the other station, the construction industry station, is 2 joysticks. With universal controls, the patterns change depending on what machine you're using. You'll notice with this mining station and this setup, these are the exact controls in that large dozer. Okay. Right? Why? Well, when you think about the application of a mine, it's production. This won't need to change a machine. It can change locations, right, to a similar dozer. But when we transition them, they're used to the same controls that they have in the machine for full production, full shift capabilities. But then let's take this and go to the next level. We move to our D11 dozer. We can now add an autonomy layer on this. Now I can do semi-autonomous operations. So I've taken this investment, added to the capabilities of it. Now a single operator can manage up to 5 dozers running.
So when you say semi-autonomous, why don't you elaborate on that?
Absolutely. So there's still the capability of remote control. We're still taking the dozer out to the work site remotely, right? but what we've done is put autonomy into the push cycle of that dozer. So specifically slot dozing, right? So we have full autonomy. That dozer, let's say dozer number 1, will continue to operate autonomously until it reaches desired grade. In the meantime, after he sets up that first machine, he'll take machine number 2 and put it in another slot. Set that up to start running continuously. 3, 4, right? And then as he's doing that, dozer 1 has reached its goal. He'll take dozer 1, put it in, give it a new assignment. Now that operator's, because that operator's workload has diminished with the autonomous, push cycle, right, of that dozer being there, so he can manage those additional. So why would he need to take remote control? Well, let's say dozer 2 needs fuel. The operator would take remote control of dozer 2, pull it out, go get fuel, bring it back, put it back into autonomous operation. Right, and so that's kind of his work cycle, is managing the workflow of those dozers. When needed, take the dozers, go get fuel.
Managing and monitoring versus that one over there is more of an operations.
Pure operation, exactly. Eventually moving to our more managing, right? So again, we've talked about line of sight, remote control, full non-line of sight, remote control. We talked about semi-autonomy, moving into a production type of machine in our mining industry. Let's talk about the next step, which is I've put autonomy in all aspects of the machine.
That's where we're going to see this baby. Wow.
What you see here is our 777 mining truck, and it's fully autonomous. We call it autonomous haulage system. And it is part of our CAT Command family of offerings. What you'll see with this, the first thing you'll notice is the blinking blue lights. All of those machines that you saw running on the stations had the mode indicators. You didn't see them because they were running in Arizona and running in Illinois. However, that indicates what mode the machine is. So everybody on site knows that blinking blue light, it's in autonomous mode. Okay? The other lights you're gonna have a red light, that means it's commanded stop, and then you have a green light. So if we got in the cab and switched it to a manual mode, it'd just be like a regular manually operated truck.
So you've already been thinking about this communication issue with people.
That's correct. Yep, the visual and audio. As the modes change, the lights change, visual, and then the horn is used as well as it changes the modes to indicate a mode change, right? Visual and audible change on site of the mode of that machine. Let's walk forward. So now we're in the business end of the machine. Obviously, where the operator would be in the cab, but what I want to point out to you is you're going to see the mode lights that we have that sign, and then above that you'll see the autonomy cabinet. That's the brains. So that's what does all the processing, right? So when we talk about autonomy,
sensor fusion,
that's correct. So our MineStar system, right, does the dispatch, controls the traffic, manages the mine site, and it's providing the assignment to the truck. The brains of this truck is in that cabinet. And then how does that truck perceive its environment? Well, there you've got the GPS antennas, and then you've got the LiDAR, right? So, and radar. So it's using LiDAR and radar, right? So it has its own perception system, and it has GPS. High precision has the GPS.
Right.
And there's cramp, exactly. You beat me to it. You got you have some cameras. That's okay. You have some cameras over there underneath the LiDAR as well on this model. But again, you've essentially removed all the human elements out of controlling that truck. I mean, so this machine's never going to get tired, right? It's going to repeat and obey the instructions, what it needs to do All day, every day.
And this isn't something that's just introduced here, so this has been going on for a while in mines, right?
This is this model. So we're continuing to expand it. So this is, this is a new truck.
Okay.
For our command, our autonomous haulage system. And so, we're obviously sharing it with the public here.
Yeah. It still has a captain, so you can drive it manually, I suppose.
Yes, you can jump in and change it to manual mode and operate it.
But you have your previous models, you've had this out in the field running in some
Our larger models, correct. Yeah, our 793s and those larger size mine trucks have had this for 10 years now.
And I imagine that the economics of the technology, adding that technology, pays for itself over time.
Oh, absolutely. You look at, again, the reducing the variability in the mine site, right? The predictability of an autonomous system.
Right.
It's hard to beat. Right. Because let's face it, we get rid of the human factors, and that starts happening way back with our line of sight. Right.
Right.
The operator, so we've helped reduce his exposure to the environments. Right. We don't have to run the engine to cool the cab, or provide heat for the operator because now he's not in it. Right. It started way back there. Right. And now we've taken it all the way to this fully autonomous truck.
That's incredible. Well, oh my gosh, this has just been so enlightening, and it's amazing what you guys have done, and to really make life better for the people who are operating the vehicles, but just improving productivity.
Yeah, it's exciting times here at Caterpillar and in this industry, and you can feel the energy here.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Alan, I appreciate your time.
Thank you.